Hey everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of our power pack install. Basically, if you're new to the channel, this is my 2023 Frontier Pro 4X, and we are in the process of installing the power pack from Z1 Off-Road. So last week we did the cold air intake. This week is going to be your plenum spacer or manifold spacer, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put that on, and then all that's left after that is the tune and exhaust. So we'll get to that after this install. But like I said, today we're going to be installing this guy right here. Z1 Off-Road, that's what you're looking for if you want to pick this up. All the parts and stuff I'll put in the link down below. But you can see it's nice, heavy duty, made out of aluminum. And you got your notches cut in there for the new gasket that you're going to need. Of course, you get the new gaskets, get a little bag of hardware, and a little spacer plate. This is all you need to install this. So I'll show you what goes where when we get to that point. But to start this off, what we're going to do is we're going to come in here, disconnect just the throttle body side. So one little screw there, pull your intake tube off because you will have to remove the throttle body to get this off. And then your engine cover just pops off. Give it a little yank upwards, it'll pop out of your way. All right, so once you have your engine cover off and your intake tube out of the way, you want to get your throttle body off. Now you have 1, 2, and on the bottom, 3, 4, little screws. This is what they look like when they're out. You have a little T30 Torx bit and it'll come right out. It does have a little tiny bit of blue Loctite on there, so when you put it back on, that's up to your own discretion whether you want to put it on there or not. Last time I took this off, I never bothered, but you can if you want. And then keep in mind, this thing is just going to hang here. Do not disconnect the hoses on there. They are full of coolant. This is liquid cooled. So if you open that up, it's not only going to spill everywhere, but you're going to have to fill up and burp the whole system to get it filled back up properly. So like I said, I recommend just taking out the 4 bolts and moving that thing aside, and then it's enough out of the way that you can do all the rest of this without having to refill a bunch of fluid and stuff like that. Just saves you a bit of time. All right, now that the throttle body's out of the way, we can get some of this other stuff out of our way. So what you're going to want to remove, these 2 bolts here, 10 millimeter, this little bracket will be moved out of the way. If you look back right there, also a 10 millimeter, take that one out. And then when you come over here, you have this little wire harness right here. Give it a squeeze and wiggle. It should come off just like that. There's a little Christmas tree clip here. You just pop that out because you basically want to disconnect everything from the plastic manifold cover up here. And then get yourself a pair of pliers. You got one of your little hose clamps right here. Give it a squeeze and a wiggle. And just like that, that's out of the way. And if you look and follow this direction, right there, you have a little clamp as well. But luckily for this one, you can just kind of open it and pull the hose out. You don't have to actually disconnect that clamp, but you want this all out of the way. So you can see once you get that 10 mil out, that can all be put to the side. Again, this one has your little clip here, and then that can be put to the side, and then we'll get over to the passenger side of what you have to disconnect. All right, so once you got all that stuff out of the way, like I said, tuck this thing behind your oil fill tube there, then it just keeps it out of the way. It's not gonna wanna try to bounce back. Put your 10 millimeter bolt back in there just so you don't lose it. And then again, this little wiring harness here just has the little clip that will go back in there later on once we're done. So now you can move to the passenger side. And what you're looking for here is the one hose clamp right there has to come off. Now mine will look a little bit different than yours because I have the oil catch can on here, but the location is the same. You just want to pull that hose off. And then if you look down there, you have 1, 2, 12 millimeter bolts. So remove that clamp, take those 2 12 mils out, and then we can move on to the top and get the bolts out that actually put this thing down onto the engine itself. All right, so now that you have all that disconnected, you can start taking off the actual manifold bolts itself. You'll have 2, they're kind of in a line with each other, 2, 4, 6, 8. Loosen them all off, and then at that point, this thing will be able to come out. What you want to do, once you have them all off there, lift it straight up and off. It's just plastic, it doesn't have much weight to it, but with the gaskets under there, you don't want to be sliding this thing back and forth. So loosen them all off, pull it straight up, and then get it out of your way. And also keep in mind, if you look here, you have 6 that are bolts and 2 that are nuts. There's just 2 that are studs. It's to line this thing up straight when they put it on. And I'll show you how to do that once we put the spacer on there. But just keep in mind, 2 of them will be nuts. It's nothing to be concerned about. All right, so once you get all 8 bolts, it just lifts right off. And it is got a little bit of weight to it, but I can hold it with one hand, no problem. And then if you look in there and in there, that's where your other 2 bolts were hidden. So you got 2, 4, 6, and 8. So get those all out. Put this down somewhere. I recommend upside down or on something like your engine cover. The bolts will fall out. Reason being, you don't want to mess up the rubber gasket that comes on there because you are going to be reusing that, obviously. So leave it like that. And then if we come under here now, you can see the first one and the third one are studs. So we're going to actually take those out because they're going to be too short with the spacer on there. So we'll pop those out, and then before we do anything else, get yourself a rag and clean up everything on here. You want it to be spick and span, no dirt, no dust, no fluff, no oil if there's any in there. We have a catch can, so it catches a lot of that. But again, you have to get those 2 studs out of the way. Okay, so a little quick look at the studs here. The only specialty tool you may want, and you don't need this, but if you have it, this is what it is. It's an E8, and I forget exactly what these things are called, but it's like a reverse Torx bit, because the top of this, you can see, has like a torque head on it. Now, these are not in there super tight, like barely hand tight. So if you don't have one of these, you can just grab a pair of pliers and twist it off. But if you do have a set like that, the top is an E8 and they come out like nothing. Like I said, they're almost just finger tight in there. If you have a good grip, you could probably almost pop these off just with your hand. All right, so now that we got everything removed, we can move on to the spacer. And now I'm going to give you a little secret here. Most companies, or at least if they're a good company, your logo is always going to be somewhere where you can see it. They're not going to spend the money and waste their time putting a logo on if this is going to be somewhere where it's covered and you're not going to see it. So looking at the engine, this is going to sit that way. Now when you pop the engine open or the hood open, you can see that it's Z1 off-road. Same goes for the intake. They're not going to put their little badge on the bottom of the airbox because you're not going to see it. So that gives you an idea of what way this will go. It's not going to go that way because then the logo is backwards, right? You want to go this way so you can see it. So what we're going to do, flip this over, grab your 2 gaskets, and now they only fit in one way. If you look, they have the little nub on the top, and if you look here, you got one little gap there. Come to the other side, you got one little gap there. So all you're going to do is slowly go around and feed it in just like that. And keep in mind, if this is something you're doing in the winter, this may be a little bit harder than you're seeing now. I got my garage luckily, but you want to keep these things kind of warm because it will be a lot easier to get this in. It won't be so stiff because, of course, being rubber in the cold weather, it will freeze up a little bit. It's not going to wreck anything. It's just going to be a little bit more of a hassle to get that in. So again, do both sides like that. And then we're going to move to the hardware. So if you notice, when we took it out, we had 6 bolts and 2 studs. Here, they send you 8 bolts. Now, they also send you 2 studs, which you can see are longer to make up for the inch gap that you're going to be gaining. I recommend putting these in just hand tight, but when you actually bolt it all down, use all 8 bolts. This we're just going to use to line everything up. So again, come in here, find a spot, just finger tight, twist them in there. You don't even have to go all the way in. That's enough, just so when we put the spacer on, we're lined up where we need to be up here, And then when you put the manifold cover back on, it's going to be lined up as well. Then you can start your other bolts. Once you get 2 or 3 of the other bolts started, now you can reach this with your finger, just thread it back out, put the other 2 bolts back in place where these will come from, and then you're all lined up. You don't have to worry about this thing being cockeyed one way or the other. Okay, then once you have your rubber gasket all seated, and now keep in mind if you look in between the little pieces, they don't quite fit. Don't worry about that. Those are just to keep this as one piece, so you don't have to put in 6 different little ones. It just makes it a little easier to line things up and stuff like that. So that doesn't seal anything under there. So it's a little bit smaller, doesn't matter. What you are looking for is that this is all seated around properly. Push it all the way in, and that's what you should be looking at. And then if you come under here, like I showed you guys, I put the 2 studs. Obviously use 2 bolt locations where you can get at with your fingers after, because we're going to be, like I said, replacing those with bolts. And then, I don't know if you can notice, it's a little bit cleaner. Wipe it down, especially if you got oil and stuff in there. Wipe it all down, make it as clean as you can, especially the locations around where the seal is going to seal. You don't want any gunk and grime in there because it's going to cause a leak. So now that you have it like this part you want to do with 2 hands because the gaskets do hold themselves in there, but you want to place this down nice and gentle, not to wreck the fitting or the seal with the gaskets in any way. And then once you got it on there, that is what you're going to be looking at. Now you can see why I put those studs in there. It keeps front and back lined up. Then if you look in there, everything is lined up perfectly, just as if it came off the stock truck. So now all you got to do is go in the opposite direction of what you did before. So again, very carefully put those 2 or the studs through those, and that'll keep that straight. Then get your new hardware and start putting in the bolts. Just hand tight, don't crank anything obviously until they're all started. Alright, just to show you that everything doesn't always go so smoothly, this bolt decided to snap. And that bolt is the one that goes right in here. Now, not the end of the world. If you're wondering where that's located, it's those 2 bolts that came out of there. One of them snapped off. So I'm going to try to get it out. I do have a bolt extractor for broken bolts. If I can't get it out, I'll just put the one back in. It's better than nothing. But that'll be where your little spacer bracket goes. But yeah, I don't know why that ended up breaking, but she snapped right off. All right, so I did end up getting the bolt out, and I don't know what's up with these things, but they want to cross thread in. So you can see this one I don't have quite tight, but it kind of went in on an angle. I just don't want to break another bolt in there, but you can see it's solid as a rock. It's not going to go anywhere. And now keep in mind, right now this thing's upside down. So the logo's upside down. Again, put it the right way so when you flip it over, you don't have Z1 Off-Road upside down like you're seeing now. And now those 2 holes will be the new bolts for that bracket there and there. And they supply nuts and bolts for that. The nuts and bolts in your package are for those 2. So now, clean that up, make sure there's no gunk on there. Clean up that side, and we can drop this sucker onto the truck and get it all bolted back down into place. All right, so now that you got the manifold back on top, what you want to do, or what I recommend anyways, start down here, get those 2 mounting bolts in, just because you're able to wiggle this thing a little bit right now. So get those 2 started. Don't tighten them till the end, but get the bolt and the nut on. And then when you come up in here, now you can see, like I mentioned, those studs we put on, one there, one back there, that keeps this thing perfectly aligned. You can see it lines up perfectly with the spacer all the way around. So then take 6 of your supplied bolts and put them in all the other holes. Just snug them finger tight. Don't crank it down yet. There is actually a torque pattern to this thing. So get those 6 started, then it'll hold it in place. Then you can go back in there, take the 2 studs out that you just put in finger tight, and replace them with the last 2 bolts. Okay, so once you have the 6 bolts started, take out your far stud that you put in, reach in here. Now you can see that one's a little bit tight. Just grab your pliers, get on there, Give it a couple twists. And that's why you want to only put them in hand tight. Put those aside, grab your last 2 bolts. One will go in there, one will go back there. Grab, I find it best, just grab an extension and your socket. They're all 12 mil. Get on there and just finger tight. That way you know they're not cross-threaded, you're not breaking anything. It's all seated proper. And then once you get them all finger tight, now we can get our torque wrench out and torque them down. All right, so now that you got all your bolts in, you got to torque them down. Now, these are going to go to 8 foot-pounds, which is not very tight. So you want to go torque sequence-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how I'm going to do it. Not sure if it's the right way, but basically you want to cinch down the middle and then work your way out. So everything kind of goes flat and you spread any excess out to the sides in a way. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, just in a star pattern. 5, 6, 7, 8. Doesn't really matter which order you go in. You just want to be making an X crisscross each time. So again, it's going to all come down evenly. All right, so once you got it all down and torqued, all you got to do is go and reverse what you did before. So put your little 10 mil up there, tighten it back down, put your clamps in for your hose, run up, put that clamp in, plug your harness back in. Take note, this is got a little bit of slack in it, but it is fairly tight. If you want, I didn't do it, but you can kind of trim back the tape there and give yourself a little bit of extra slack for that wire there. Not the end of the world, it shouldn't break it, but you're not going to be able to put that clip back in the space there. Then, of course, your throttle body and your intake tube got to go back on. Again, tighten these all by hand. Do not rent or ream them in there with a drill or an impact or something because you'll strip it. But put them in, crank them down. And again, a little bit of blue Loctite if you want. I didn't bother on mine. Make sure you go back down here and tighten up those 2 12 mils that you put in. And then last but not least, your hose on the back end. Put that back on, tighten it down, and then all that's left is to put your engine cover back on. And that leaves us with this bracket we took off. So what they sent with the package is 2 little spacers, and that makes up the difference for the height of the spacer we put in. So all you got to do is crank these down. Now you don't have to tighten these with a wrench at all. Just turn them in, and that's going to give you the same space to make up for the spacer that we put in, like such. So then these, again, be careful. I'm doing this with one hand. Don't lose your bolts down your engine bay because that would suck. Tighten them down, get them started at least. Just like that. Get your wrench on them or your ratchet, crank them down, and then you slap your engine cover back on top and the install is done. And there you go, guys. Everything is installed. Back together, like I said, the pipe, throttle body, couple hoses, a clamp or a wiring harness, your cover, a couple little spacers there, and a couple bolts here and there. And it's actually very simple to install this thing. You can do it in your garage. Give yourself an hour, hour and a half if you don't know what you're doing. But hopefully this video helps you out if you need a little bit of visual on how this thing goes on. And then again, make sure everything's lined up. Use your hardware that they send. Torque it all down. And now you can see you can't even tell anything's in there. So if you want to see the next video, it's going to be the exhaust. And then I did dyno the truck, like I mentioned. So I'm not sure if it's going to be a before and after, or if I'll just make it into one big video for the before and after. I haven't decided yet, but we do have the intake install. Now this, like I said, exhaust next week. So if you want to see any of that, make sure to like and subscribe, share the video with your friends, and hopefully we catch you in the next one. So thanks for watching and have a good day.